Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Rob here, Fully Loaded Customs. On today's video, we'll be tearing into the 1980s Scottsdale. We'll be getting this truck stripped down, torn down, ready for metal work, a lot of metal work, and getting ready for body work. And ultimately, guys, we're gonna be working towards getting this truck back in that cool retro style paint job, getting this thing back on the road after sitting for 26 years, and giving this truck a second chance at life. So guys, stay tuned to the channel. This is the 1980 Scottsdale Paint Series. So before I go ahead and remove the passenger side door here, I thought I'd quickly show you this over here. And basically what it is before I go in and remove the doors here, I'll take something like a pick and I'll go around the door brackets and I'll basically just score the metal around the brackets like that. Up there you can see as well. I'll score the metal and I'll do the other brackets up on top, on the bottom once I get the doors opened. And when I go to put this back on now, and I align this bracket up to the line, this bracket up to the line here, tighten the bolts down. What it'll do is right off the bat, it'll give you a pretty good alignment of your door to where it currently is before you removed it. I find doing this works pretty good, and it helps right away. It helps pretty good when you're putting them back on. So you right away, you're at a good place. There might be some minor adjustment needed, but get you off on the right path. So anyways, just wanted to show you that. So let's go ahead now and remove the door. Perfect. All right, cool guys. So we've got most of the stuff removed off the front clip of the truck here. The only thing that's still there is just the rad support at the moment. I got the fender and the doors sitting over here. Basically, I left the trim and the glass and everything else on the doors this time around. I figured it's gonna be a lot easier if I just throw it on the stand, flip it around, and just take everything off while it's on the stand. Should be pretty good, a little less time consuming. So I'll get to removing that there in a bit. So at this point right now, the interior is gonna come out pretty easy. It's only a couple bolts to remove the seats, get the carpet and everything else stripped out of the way there too. Shouldn't be too difficult. So I can go ahead now, probably gonna go get the bumper off, taillights, see if I can get the trim off there as well, remove the tonneau cover, and hopefully, I'm hoping the roll bar, she isn't too difficult to get that removed. So let's move on to the box side. So my wrench, when it was backed up to the box, she decided to come through the box. But when in doubt, throw the breaker bar on there and snap those bolts in half. It's easier. Really didn't take too much to snap it in half. A lot better messing around with the impact there for a little bit. Anyways, now we got this figured out. I'll get my wrench knocked out of the box, and we'll get to taking this bumper off. So scenarios like this, you just gotta be gentle with it, but get back where you came from there. There we are. All right. So let's go ahead and get the bumper off now. Perfect. So managed to get the bumper off here. That was an experiment. It took a lot of cutting, impacting, and breaking stuff, but we got them all out, and it also took a lot of rust out of the way there too, which is good. Now I don't have to deal with it. So basically this portion here, it's onto the roll bar. The roll bar is going to have basically 8 bolts on each side, but judging from the experience I just had with the bumper and the rest of the truck, these are not going to just twist off and fall out. They're probably going to need to be broken off or cut off with the angle grinder and a cutting wheel. I might try 1 or 2 to see if they'll zip off with the impact, but pretty sure we're going to have to cut those off there too. Then it's going to be on to the box bolts, and these are 100% certain going to just need to be cut out, and then cut probably the next pattern in them, knock the sides off the way, and then punch it straight through is what I'm thinking. Basically, because this is just going to turn, obviously that's going to turn. I tested the theory on this one, and as soon as you hit it from the bottom, it just spins. And this one, of course, my wrench came through the box, and I casually knocked it back down, and also broke this section in the middle. And as you can see here, we don't really have to deal with this one because the rust has already taken care of that one for us. But anyways, guys, let's set up the camera now, and let's get to removing that roll bar. So I went ahead and I just jumped on to removing the box bolts. I know in the last scene I said I was going to end up removing the roll bar first, but I actually might have some help tomorrow to remove the box and get it out of here. So I thought, let's move on to the box bolts first, make sure I can get those freed up. So if I got help, at least the box can come off easy this way. And I can probably get to these probably tomorrow morning before everyone shows up. So get those box bolts done first. Anyways, as you can see, the back half of the box is going to need to be replaced. I'm going to have to end up pretty much cutting it there and replacing the back section here. Same with the rear support over here, and probably this one that goes along that way there too. So didn't really mind about cutting in here when I was drilling out my bolts here. All I did is I just cut a little notch in there so I could start drilling it. Drill those out, and then once I got to this point here and I got the top portion off, I just took my punch and basically hammered that straight down. Did a pretty good job. So when I go to do these ones here, that's all I'll be doing is just cutting this little X pattern, drilling it out, and then punching it straight through the bottom. But as you can see, the back side of the box, there's a little section where the bolts are supposed to slide into, and 3 of the 4 of them are basically non-existent except for this one here. You can see that in there. But anyways, got the back 4 done. So now I'm just gonna go ahead on to the front there, cut those little X pattern notches, drill them out, punch them through the bottom, and that's going to free up our box. So I just wanted to bring you guys in here just so I can show you what I've been doing with these rear bolts on the box here. It's been working out pretty good so far. So what I've been doing is I cut a little slot to start so I can drill right away. And I've been drilling down to this point here where you can see I pretty much got that halfway freed up from the nut there. So what I'll do now is I'll cut little slits like you see right here. And then it gives me a position where I can put my punch here, hit with a 5-pound hammer. It'll knock that section off, come back in, cut this little slot here, give it a hit with a hammer, it'll knock that section off, and then a little slot right there. Cut that, give it a smack with a 5-pound hammer, it'll knock it off. I'll go around the whole bolt and I'll knock out little sections like this of the nut, which has been relatively pretty easy so far. And then I'll be left with this stud in the center. I'll be able to slide my punch right up in there, give it a couple whacks with a 5-pound hammer, and it'll punch that, pretty much punch that stud straight through the floor there, straight through the frame. So it's been working out pretty good so far, and it's only resulted in very minimal scoring here too, and it's been keeping the box, the carriage bolt hole in pretty good shape. So continue on, I'll get this last one out of the way. So got all the bolts out underneath the box. So the box should be free here now. Which by the looks of it, the box is all freed up on that side. And she should be all freed up on this side here as well. Which she's all freed up. Unfortunately, when I went to go do that earlier, I also put my hand through the side here. But that's okay, because we'll be getting some new metal in here. So I'm not too worried about it. Now that I have all the bed floor bolts taken care of, the last ones I'm going to get onto here are going to be the roll bar. I'm going to take off, so this side has 8 of them in total, and thankfully this side only has 4. It's got 2 in the wheel well portion and 2 in the corner box. The ones that are above the wheel well, looks like I can get to these relatively easy. I can just zip them down from below the wheel well. The ones in the corner, however, they look like they're going to be a pain in the ass to get to, and I'm going to be showered with rust if I try and back those off in the bottom. So we might just drill and punch those ones out in the corner. Well, either way, let's get to getting this roll bar removed. So that right there is the best case scenario. If the bolts just break off, they only take a second to remove. It's easier that way. I got lucky on the other side. The two wheel well bolts on the roll bar, they snapped right away, so they took seconds to remove those. It looks like these other ones, however, they're wanting to spin. there too. Is this one broke? Beautiful. So change of plans on the old truck here. Tried to get some of these roll bar bolts out. Luckily 4 of the 6 of them snapped off the impact, but the other 2 that are in there, they won't pop up through the center there. They're basically stuck. So I think at this point here, I'm just going to notch them with the zip disc, with the cutting disc, notch them out, drill them out, and punch them through the bottom. Seems like it's going to be the easiest way to basically take care of these. So anyways, let's get to cutting some bolts. All right, cool guys. So we got the bolts all cut out of the truck here. Got the roll bar bolts cut out. Got the a lot of the floor bed bolts cut out. Nothing came off the impact for those. Those were all cut out. And the majority of the roll bar bolts, yeah, those were all cut off too. The one in the corner, that took over an hour to get that out because it was a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pain in the ass. But we got them all out, so that's a good thing here. So now that I got them all out, I was gonna have some people come over here this evening, give me a hand for lifting the box over and getting off to the side. But just judging by how I put my hand through the bottom piece here earlier, I'm sure if people start grabbing on this here, it's gonna bend and twist, and it's gonna destroy the rest of the metal that's on the side. So I'm thinking, pretty much gonna need to learn how to do this myself anyway, because this box is gonna have to come off numerous times during this project here. Gonna have to take it off, put it back on to get my metal spacing right for the panels, everything else like that. Take it back off, prime it, body work it, paint it. Once it's in base coat, put it back on here so I can tape off my masking here for the retro style paint job. Remove it one more time so I can clear coat and paint in behind the cab and then behind the truck over here as well. And at that point in time, then maybe I can get some help. I'm going to put this on for the final time. This should be nice and solid, and this way I won't be bumping into the cab. I'm going to put the box on. So until then, kind of came up with this idea here with the engine hoist. So let's take you guys behind the truck here, show you what I got going on. So this is kind of what I've been messing around with for the last little while here. Came up with something here. I can hook my ratchet straps here. They're just hooked onto the hook there loosely right now just to see, make sure I could lift the box. I'm gonna end up tying them in right here with a bolt through there. And then the back ones I'm gonna tie in straight through here on the arm, and they're gonna hook onto these portions right here. So got those hooked up in the front here too. They go right there through that little bit, and as you can see over here, they hook up in there. So it's pretty secure over there. And I can also adjust those to one pole at a time So when I'm behind the arm, I can line it up there for the center of the truck for a good lift. So figured that out. Then I went into town. I got everything I need to build a truck bed dolly cart here. Got all my wheels and all my bolts and all my screws, everything else like that I'm going to need for this project. So we're going to brush up on the old carpentry skills, take all this material, build us a truck bed dolly cart with the saw that I got, with the circular saw. We're going to envision that, build it right here, and then come back in here, figure out a good lift on this, get everything secured, lift the bed, put it on the cart, and then pretty much we're going to get sandblasting the rest of the frame there, wire wheeling it and getting it all ready to go. But anyway, for now, let's quit talking. I've got stuff to build. So let's trade in the body shop stuff for some carpentry work. All right, cool guys. So we got the wheel dolly cart here all carpentered up. What we did here in the bottom sections and the corner sections, we just doubled up on a 2x4s here, screwed them together for some extra support here, got them on the wheels, and that thing is moving pretty good here now. And the way we measured this up here too is basically the wheel wells are going to sit right over here, and the other edge of the wheel well should be roughly about right here. So I got those positioned nice in between of those, and lengthwise this will fit right in between the braces that are bad, and they'll be supported by the braces that are still good on the floor. So that way when I have the 18, I believe it's 18 inches, 16 or 18 inches overhang here, I'll be able to work on the two floor bracing parts that are really bad, get those welded, get them cut out, and then weld in the new ones, and this will still be attached to the wheel dolly cart at the same time. So we got this all set, ready to go here now. And this point here, we basically got the floor jack, the engine hoist positioned where we're going to need it here, and just came up with a rough idea here. Got these pieces of wood here in between the box rails here, just so we got some extra support when we hook this up with the ratchet straps, because it's basically all I got right now. It's just ratchet straps up the shop, and I'm gonna make those work. So once we have the box up in the air, we're basically just going to drive the truck out, move the engine hoist with the bed, set it down on the dolly cart we just carpentered up here, and we're going to be set and ready to go. So guys, let's get to removing this box. So I was saying I was going to end up doing this here by myself, but my buddy Devin here, there he is. Devin ended up coming over. He gave me a hand here. We were able to pull the box. And someone offers you a hand, take it. It's a lot easier with two people doing bigger jobs like this. So let's lower on the cart and see how we did carpentering up this dolly, bed dolly cart. Hopefully she holds together and supports it just fine. Gone ahead and pulled the truck back into the shop here now. So let's quickly take a look at the frame, see what we've got to work with. There's a lot of rust. You're seeing a lot of rust, but stuff like this here, these are basically, this is chunks of what was left of the box floor. Certain portions like that. A lot of the frame is still in pretty decent shape. This can all be cleaned up, sandblasted. I'll get a couple more bags of sandblast media, sandblasted. I can paint it with that Endura paint that I used to paint the trailer with. Clean this up, make it look really nice. And there's no really bad, there's no holes or nothing like that in the frame. So the frame is all still pretty solid. I can cut this old exhaust out of there, get it out of the way. And what's really cool is when I'm seeing this here, so as you can see right here on the side of the cab, this truck had one paint job in its entire life. The truck got hit here in the front fender, and the body shop where it was taken to previously, they didn't have anyone who did custom painting, so they didn't know how to put the retro style striping back onto it, the same sort of the striping that I'm going to be doing to the truck. So they opted just to paint this entire truck brown. And what's really cool is, like, my buddy Devin came over this evening. He helped me build this truck bed dolly cart that we had for the box, so it's got something to sit on. And then basically just using the engine hoist here, and my buddy Devin's help, me and him were able to pull this box off here. So this time, when it's getting painted this time around, we're gonna be able to do the entire thing behind the cab, behind the box, and make this truck looking something pretty sweet. Especially, it's gonna look so cool with that retro style paint job on it. Definitely looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun paint project. Get some custom painting going. I've been waiting a while to just show you guys what I can do custom paint wise. So, and what's really cool is I've seen on the box here too, I'll show you. On the back of the box, it's actually got the factory marking here too, which is really cool to see. Anything that's like original from factory like that, it's always a cool little find when you come across it. All right, cool guys, so that's gonna be it for today's video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can follow along with the Paint Series build on this 1980 Scottsdale and see how this thing turns out with that cool retro style paint job to it. And like I said in the previous clip, I've been waiting to do some custom painting. I'm getting the opportunity here on the truck. And at the same time, I'm also getting the opportunity to give back somebody their very first vehicle that they ever owned, very first vehicle they ever bought brand new off the showroom floor in 1980. It's gonna be a really cool build. Looking forward to it, guys. So maybe leave in the comment section down below, guys. What do you guys think of the 1980 Scottsdale? This thing's going back to the original retro style paint job, original retro style interior in this vehicle. It's gonna be a sweet build. Let me know in the comment section, guys, down below. What do you think of the 1980 Scottsdale? Do you guys still have your first vehicle that you ever purchased brand new? If so, what is it? And if you could get it back, let me know. How would that feel if someone was able to recreate your original memories again? Let me know, guys, in the comment section down below. You guys take the time out to leave me comments. I'm gonna make sure I take the time out to reply to you. So basically, got her torn down, stripped down. Next video, we can probably get starting on some body work on the hood and the fenders, the doors and stuff like that. Getting some things pretty much ready for primer. The box, she's gonna take a little bit more. She's gonna take a little bit of work. A bit. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. thanks a lot for sticking around to the end of it. And remember, until next time, if it's not Raglan, it's not custom. Catch you guys next episode. Just take care.